Driving mechanism number 2, according to our framework, is calming the autonomic nervous system. More precisely, it's encouraging the autonomic nervous system to be in a more parasympathetic dominant state rather than a sympathetic dominant state. We know this happens in good sleepers. To do this, we need a basic understanding of these aspects and translate that information to a sleep focus. We are also going to find that our hearts tell the story by understanding its rhythms and rates. More on the heart throughout the course. First of all, let's look at emotion. There are 3 key elements to emotions. There's the subjective experience. That's a feeling that you have that's uniquely yours as opposed to someone else's. You might feel anger in your stomach or your chest area. It's different for everyone. There's a behavioral response, meaning the actions you take. But then there's a physiological response, like elevated heart rate, muscle tension, and these are all triggered by the autonomic nervous system. When it comes to sleep, it's really important that we understand the autonomic nervous system. This system dictates how elements of the body react. Understanding these concepts will help guide our approach to winding down our body and mind so we can sleep. So a brief description of the autonomic nervous system in the relation to sleep. The autonomic nervous system is made up of 2 branches, the parasympathetic nervous system and the sympathetic nervous system. These 2 are commonly known as the rest and digest and the fight or flight. They are both oppositional and complementary to one another. I'm not going to deal with freeze as I want to focus on big picture concepts for sleep. During good, nurturing sleep, parasympathetic vagal tone increases and sympathetic tone decreases. There is always a balance between the 2 that is influenced by what it perceives. So since there is more parasympathetic activity during sleep in good sleepers, we want to encourage it and discourage sympathetic activity close to bedtime so the body is, you guessed it, sleep ready. During a stressful event, the fight or flight response is activated. The body interprets a stressful event as a physical threat, so it mobilizes to either ready itself for a fight or ready itself to run away. Cortisol and adrenaline get released to boost energy supplies and alter, suppress, or shut down non-essential systems like the immune system, digestive system, and reproductive system in order to maximize energy so it can deal with what it thinks requires a physical response. Think of cortisol and adrenaline as chemicals of action. In other words, they're not sleep-ready chemicals. The heart rate accelerates, more energy is sent to the musculature, muscles tense and are primed for action, which can cause trembling or shaking. Breathing becomes shallow and more rapid, and digestion slows down or stops in correlation to how much adrenaline has been delivered. Basically, the fight or flight response is for short-term survival. It activates because it wants to protect itself from imminent danger. So all energy is diverted to physical action. Rest and digest, on the other hand, is for long-term longevity. Its role is to repair and replenish. In nourishing sleep, hormone release and balance, physical repair, mood balance, and cognitive reorganization is all executed. This is possible through the lowering of the fight or flight response and the increase of the rest and digest response. So obviously, we want to encourage this. Now, our fight or flight nervous system seems to be set up for physical threat that is happening in real time, in the present moment. But this same response can be triggered by psychological stress and social stresses. So certain people or situations can activate a fight or flight response, even though you are not being physically threatened. You're actually just thinking about it or those people. Elevated heart rate, shallow breathing, tensing of muscles. The body mobilizes to give you more energy to act. But all you did was think and imagine scenarios. Full on, eh? So with a sleep focus, you're laying in bed, you've closed your eyes, and then thoughts start running through your head. You're starting to worry about things you need to accomplish, concerned over loved ones and the choices they're making, stressing that what you've done isn't good enough, worried about things that are about to happen, ashamed of what you've done in the past. Can you see how these thoughts will trigger the emotions and stimulate the fight or flight system? Not enough to kick it into a full-on emergency gear, but enough to make the body think it has to take action. These thoughts are inspiring the body to be active. It wants to do something, fix the problem, resolve the issue. When this happens, closing your eyes won't be enough to get to sleep. Also, these thoughts are all connected to the past and the future. Remember what we learned about in the previous module on beta brainwaves. Thinking, particularly with emotion, will put the brain into a higher gear. The brain is then active. Can you see the connection between beta brainwaves, particularly high beta, and the fight or flight response in regard to sleep? When we are worrying, stressing, concerned about something, the body-mind connection thinks it's going to take action, so it's not going to want to wind its systems down. I have a bit of an analogy. We have Uncle Fighty Flighty and Auntie Resty Digesty. Now, Uncle Fighty, he really is a good guy. He has your safety always in mind. In this modern society, though, he likes to jump to conclusions and take control. Someone looks at you funny or says something a bit inappropriate, he's like, hey, give me some energy. We should punch this person or put them in their place. Let me mobilize and take care of this for you. Or he'll be like, this is dangerous. We need to get the hell out of here. Give me some energy. I'll sort it out. He always wants to be the center of attention. Then we have lovely Auntie Resty Digesty. She is so nurturing. All she wants to do is feed us and let us relax so she can clean up, repair us, and help extract all those good nutrients from what we eat, use the sunlight to help balance us hormonally. But she's not intrusive. If Uncle Fighty wants to do his thing, she will acquiesce to his requests. Uncle Fighty will be like, Auntie Resty, give me some or most of your energy. I got work to do and I'll be doing it all day. He will if he can. We have to tell him to pipe down. He's really not necessary at the moment. But don't get me wrong, he's a bloody legend and we need him when we need him, just not for sleep. So what can we do to the body and with the body to assist this wind down process? We're getting there, but a couple more concepts have to be talked about before we can get to the do part. You've got to understand what we are working with, what affects it, and how it can be manipulated to make changes, because we will be doing things that will feel foreign to you. All right, go to the next bit.